And it's the motherfucking thanks I get. Hello, I started this gangster shit. And it's the motherfucking thanks I get. Hello, the motherfucking world is a ghetto full of magazines for clips and heavy metal when the smoke settles. I'm just looking for a big yellow. It's 6 inch stiletto, Dr. Dre. Hello, percolating, keep 'em waiting while you sitting there hiding. Your bitches hyperventilating, hoping that we penetrating. You get nothing, cause I never been to something. For hardcore administrating, gangbang affiliating. MC Winner, how you wildin' off a zone and a whole $5 get the dollar. 911 emergency, you can tell him. It's my son, he's certain that he's a felon. On parole for robbery, ain't no copping a plea, ain't no stopping the G. I'm in the city. Hey everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah. Good to be here. Good morning, everyone. Comic Artist Pro Secrets. It's the morning show. I'm on a schedule that's conducive to me making a morning show rather than an evening show. And so that's what we're doing. It works better for some people. It works not as well for other people. But, you know, I balance it out. I do a little bit of everything. You know, I do whatever's convenient. I do whatever's convenient for me. I'm not sure if it's convenient for you, but it works out for me pretty well. Hello, everyone. It is Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver. This is the morning show. I don't know. I feel like maybe letting other people in here today. Peter Mayer's here. Grim Jim 666. We got a lot of people who are members. Thank you. I love it. I love seeing those green names. It's awesome. Hellspine Ray says it works great for me this time. Weekender says, I can tell you lost weight. Your face looks thinner. Yeah, but what about the rest of me? You know, that's the problem. Waiting for the rest of me to get thinner, too. Rainbow Brew Pie says, pro wrestler EVS. Oh, yeah. So that's a big thing. A lot of people were surprised about that. I went to the WWE show yesterday. I got to say, I'm, not really a wrestling guy. I like it. I used to go to ECW back in the 90s, but I haven't been since. And ECW was fun. I mean, ECW, that was like, that was a cool thing. ECW was like people hurting each other at a small bingo hall in Philadelphia. Let's get this camera out of here. It was a good time. You'd actually see people pick up chairs and smack each other with them and actually start bleeding. And it was well done. I mean, people would get cut up. And I don't know. I enjoyed it. So WWE, I thought was going to be kind of the same thing, but it was not the same thing. WWE, for whatever lessons they supposedly learned from ECW, I really didn't see them. I didn't see that happening. I didn't see a lot of real believable violence. And my opinion is that even though it's a pretty good time, when you're that close to it, the illusion is shattered. Like, I mean, I realize it's fake. For those of you who don't, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it's fake. But when you're that close to it, it really I'm just dying. I'm like, But you know what I liked about it? I liked that there were so many kids there. Bring in your little boys. They had little boys there that were like 8 years old, and they were like, they're in the section that I was in. These kids were like, yeah, little kids, like totally enjoying the whole thing, enjoying the whole event, and having a great time. Now, I didn't pay for my tickets. They were a gift. They were a gift from Shane Helms, who goes by the name Hurricane. So, he was in town, wanted to, I don't know, had some seats. So happy to go, happy to have a good time, and take my kid and two of his friends. And I stayed, we drove separately. So I stayed for a little while. I didn't stay for the whole show. I was really there to see The Undertaker, because to me, Undertaker's a big star. Everyone else, I wasn't really sure who anyone else was, but seeing Undertaker wrestle was a good time. Here's the moment that everyone's talking about. Boom, right here. Like, is that Ethan? I was right up near the entrance, in the front row, and these little kids see the boys around me. I was like, put your fist out, get a fist bump from these guys. And they were like, what? No, no, no. I was like, watch this. Boom, put out my fist. Dude walks by. I'm not even sure who this is. But here's the thing. People say to me, Ethan, when you shake people's hands, they die. And I go, well, I mean, just it's a coincidence. So far it's just it's a coincidence. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that always happens. Well, I fist bumped this dude and he lost. He lost the match. So I guess in some ways there might be some truth to that. Good times, good times. And these kids were absolutely stunned. One thing that I really like, you see this kid here with the kind of bowl cut hairdo right by this dude's bicep. He was up, like he was really into this. I mean, really, this little boy and his power fantasies about being a big dude and fighting bad big dudes. This is all comic book stuff. These kids have these kind of macho fantasies that comic books used to cater to. And at one point, Roman Reigns, who I think I've seen pictures of him before. I've never seen him wrestle before. The only one there that I really knew was Undertaker. Everyone else I didn't know. Just because Undertaker's so famous, And I wanted to do a religious dude called Overtaker, who would be like dressed all in white and would, I don't know, he'd be he'd be a resurrected being. I'm not sure. But in any case, as Roman Reigns was leaving, having just won, this kid was like, yeah. And Roman Reigns looked at him and just kind of gave him he's like, yeah, and his whole like glory that he just won the match. And he turns and he looks at that kid and he like goes, yeah, like, and points to him. He points to this little kid. And this little kid's eyes got so wide. He was like, he pointed at me. He pointed at me. And just the badassery that was conferred on this little child by this like famous wrestler, to me was inspiring. I saw that and I was inspired by that. And I just thought, wow, how cool is it that, these little kids, they have people that they look up to. These guys, they look up to them. And if these guys just take a moment out of their day to, kind of pay attention to them, just give them a little wink, a little high five, point at them, look at them, whatever it is, just make them feel like they matter and they're cool, they're being seen. It changes a life. It changes this kid's life. So he was like, seriously, he almost fainted. This little kid, and he had some kind of problem. He had something in his ear, and so he had some kind of disability. And I how inspiring! I was completely inspired by that moment, and just like realign myself with this whole thing. I mean, what is the purpose of what we do, and what is the purpose of COMICSGATE? And it really is supposed to be it's supposed to be for the fans. It's supposed to be for the fans, and that's I don't know, that kind of realigned me. And I just started thinking, you know what I really need to do? I really need to go home and I need to do a brutally honest portfolio review. I need to do it. I don't, it's something that like is, I enjoy doing it, but I'm always worried about doing them. But I get asked to do brutally honest portfolio reviews more than anything else. And I'm always like, oh, I don't know. I should do them. These guys kind of realigned me towards what the whole purpose of everything is. You're supposed to be there for the fans and give the fans what they want. So I don't know. It was a cool thing. So I watched The Undertaker. It was a great show. The first two matches that I saw were kind of bland. I had a good time, but they were kind of bland. But when The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus this kid, this little, I don't know what his name is. What are they calling him? And then this other dude in like a spiked jacket, and they were supposed to be the bad guys. And they were like, we're going to end The Undertaker's legacy. And I was like, this is cool. And then they had like a trash can and they put it on his head and they were going to smash his head off. It didn't work though. And then The Undertaker got up, and every time The Undertaker got up, they would collectively like mess their pants. Yeah, you can see why people like it. It is fun. Blasted, he says, WWE is so much better now that Vince is out. Is he out? The one reason why I was thinking maybe I should stay is maybe Vince McMahon is going to come out, and I kind of want to see Vince McMahon in person. But I didn't, I don't know. I told Hunt, by the way, oh, here's the other thing. And I was proud of my son for this because Hunter is Hunter stands up for himself, which I really dig. He's there with his two friends. He's having a good time. Hunter enjoyed this wrestling match. He'd never been before. He doesn't watch wrestling on TV. Hunter enjoyed this show like nothing else. He was like, hoo, 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 hoo. Like he was, he loved it all, man. He loved the violence. He loved people getting thrown out of the ring. Like when they got thrown onto the floor, he could lean over the gate and look at them and whoa, you know, that whole thing. So he was having a great time. Now, the thing about it is we're down on the floor, and being down on the floor means one thing. You do not have elevated viewing. You don't have elevated viewing. Now, the people who paid for these tickets paid $500 to sit there. I didn't pay no $500. I got my tickets for free. And we did. We got 4 tickets for free. But everyone around us did pay $500 for a ticket. Now, here's what I want to say, because I struggled with this on the way home. Everyone was having a good time. This is a wild wrestling audience. Like these people came to get just rowdy, to yell, to holler, to hoot. You know, that it's wrestling. Like, you know, these guys, that's what they're there to do. Now behind us, so by the way, there's always somebody going, sit down, sit down, sit down, and telling people to sit down. Sit down, everyone, sit down. And so we'd sit down. But sometimes it just gets like you have to stand up because people, once the people in front of you stand up, you have to stand up too. Because otherwise you can't see. And at some points, the action gets to be so exciting and nobody wants to sit down. Everybody wants to stand up so they can see what's going on the floor. They can see everything, especially when they're out of the ring and they're circling the ring and they're throwing tables at each other. And you want to stand up and see that. Now, there was a dad that was directly behind us, and he had 2 10-year-old daughters. And this guy, he was a weirdo. And the whole time that the wrestling thing is, people are standing up and screaming. He's right behind me, and he's going, "Please sit down. You're very inconsiderate. You're being very inconsiderate. Very inconsiderate. Please sit down." So we're trying to watch the show, and all of us are like, we got some jackass behind us yelling, "Sit down. You're being very inconsiderate." And I gave him a look once or twice, and his daughters were 10, and they're sitting in their seats. Now, to be fair, they're following the rules. They're supposed to be sitting in the seats. But honestly, nobody else is following the rules. You came to a wrestling match in which people paid $500 to be close to the scene, to get up, to hoot and holler, to go, oh, and have a great time. And you are sitting there screaming like a lunatic for everyone to sit down because you don't want to stand up. And I turned to him. So anyway, here's what happened. So he touches my son on the shoulder. He pats Hunter on the shoulder. And, I turn around and look at him like, what do you do? And he goes, "Hey, could you please sit down? My daughters can't see. It's their first time here, and you're being very inconsiderate." And Hunter looked at him and laughed. Like he goes, "What are you talking to me for? Why don't you talk to the 28 people in front of me that are standing up? So I sit down. What's going to happen then? Go talk to them. Don't talk to me, you idiot." And then he turns around and looks at me and goes, "This guy." And I was like, good for you for telling this guy. So the guy's like shocked that my 20-year-old son would talk to him this way. And I turned to him and I said, "Look, one dad to another, tell your little girls to stand up. What are you doing bringing your daughters? Like if you want to bring your daughters to a wrestling match and then have them sit in their seats on the floor, maybe you should have gotten seats up there where they could get a better view by sitting." I was like, either tell your daughters you tell your daughters to get rowdy at the wrestling match. Do not tell everyone else to calm down. They're trying to have a good time. But I was so proud. And the guy's like, "Well, I guess." I was so proud of Hunter. He's just like, "What are you telling me for? Why don't you tell them, you idiot?" I was like, I was proud of him. I was proud of him for standing up for himself. And again, this is the thing, be aware. As a parent, I kind of had a little like talk to this guy. Like I grabbed him and talked to him in his ear. Like, dude, stop trying to bring everyone down. Tell your daughters to stand up and enjoy the show. So, but just that you bring your kids to this thing, and your whole agenda is to get everyone to calm down so your children can sit in the front row in a civilized WWE match. Everyone sit down, please. We'd like to see the show. I don't think so. George Alexopoulos, thanks for $2. Mary Sue is live on IndieGoGo. Awesome. Let's see. Mr. X Alliance says, if you could do a Patreon for a brutally honest Indiegogo review, I will be one of the first to donate. My Indiegogo bombed. Your Indiegogo bombed? Wait. If you can do a Patreon for a brutally honest Indiegogo review. Oh, I see what you mean. You want me you want me to go and criticize people's Indiegogos? I don't know. I don't know if I can criticize people's Indiegogos. It's not necessarily the campaign, it's everything else. And I tell people what to do with Indiegogo, and people say, no, stop, you're discouraging people. So I mean, Heather Antos was charging people $400 to give them lessons in crowdfunding. I would do it for free. I would really love to teach people how to do it, but nobody would like my answers because my answers are hard, and they don't always apply to everyone. They don't always apply to everyone the same way. There are some people who have different results. Speaking of one, congratulations to Doug Tenapel, who is probably looking. I think Earthworm Jim right now has enough momentum to actually hit 6 figures or 7 figures if he keeps it up for in demand. I would say 7 figures in maybe 2 months. That's my thing. I think he will actually get there. And I haven't looked at it lately, but it's still got enough momentum. So I reached out to Doug. We've been kind of talking back and forth. Like, Doug wanted me on the show on the last day of funding. I wanted him on my show the day after he funded. And then, neither of us could do it. He's in San Diego right now. And he's like, I talked to him last night and I said, Doug, I said, get ready. Get ready to experience some mind-bending human psychology. Now, here's the thing. When people see how much money you made, let's say that we did this on Amazon. We did this on Amazon and we had the same result. Nobody would care. People wouldn't understand. Nobody would have any idea how much money these campaigns made. And therefore people wouldn't really freak out the same way. But when people see how much money you made on an Indiegogo campaign, as they do, and people like to watch it, it's an important thing, people begin to act differently. And people that you thought were friendly will eventually turn, and you will get people having, strange expectations of you, and all of these things. And I said, you're going to experience it, so get ready. And he said, Ethan, he's like, I'm already experiencing it. Like, I'm already seeing it. Like, people are already acting weird towards me. And he said, to start out, like the SJW Rainbow Coalition are trying to get me kicked out of San Diego. And I said, that's just the start. You got to expect that. You got to expect the Rainbow Coalition is going to try to ban you from normal events. And this is here. I didn't know what he was talking about. And I did a little quick kind of Twitter search and I found it. We've got Renfamous, who's in Italy right now. Well, first of all, this guy, Brendan Fraser, Stan Spider, whatever. Who are these people? Who are these people? Oh my God, you weirdos, you SJW weirdos, shut the hell up. Just shut up. Stop worrying about Doug Tenapel. Stop worrying about Billy Tucci. Stop worrying about me. This guy tweets out, he goes, oh, wow, known transphobic and former member of the hate group COMICSGATE for like 3 weeks. No, it was like, let me think. It was like 8 months. Doug Tenapel gets to be on a San Diego Comic-Con panel. How? Oh, because Tucci, who is friends with EVS, the current head of said hate group, is hosting it. Got it. Okay, so Infamous tweets this out. Apparently, Comic-Con approved the COMICSGATE panel for San Diego Comic-Con this year. If anyone was curious about whether or not San Diego Comic-Con gives a damn about women, queer folks, people of color being harassed and abused by hate group, there's your answer. And the answer is no. Now, this is, first of all, I don't know how big this is because I only found this one image of a tweet. I didn't actually pursue to see how deep the harassment towards Doug is going, but I'm sure it's fairly deep. And what's funny about it to me is a couple of things. One of the main things is Doug Tenapel has taken great pains to separate himself from COMICSGATE. Billy Tucci has done a good job of saying, look, I want to be friends with everybody. I'm not COMICSGATE necessarily. I'm not COMICSGATE, but I'm not COMICSGATE. I'm just, a guy. So these two guys who have both taken great pains, and this is what's great about COMICSGATE. It doesn't matter if you say you're COMICSGATE or not. It doesn't matter. It only matters what they say. It's the SJWs who decide whether or not you're COMICSGATE. Now, I had another conversation with somebody about this on Kiwi Farms just recently. I'm on Kiwi Farms now. I'm at Frog. I decided I'm going to go talk to those guys. It's an interesting board, and there's some good stuff being said there about COMICSGATE and what's going on. I had a conversation with somebody who thought he caught me out in a lie. January of 2018, he found a tweet of me saying COMICSGATE is dead. It's like the industry's there's too much love in the comic book industry for this to happen. Well, and he's like, see, once you said COMICSGATE was dead. COMICSGATE used to mean something else. Okay, COMICSGATE used to be the thing that people like Renfamous and Brendan Fraser Stan Spider-Man, or whatever this person is, used to call people who they were trying to persecute. They'd say, oh, you're COMICSGATE. COMICSGATE is a scandal that is a bunch of weirdos who are a bunch of like conservative Republicans, and they're trying to stop us from inserting people of color and women and trans into comic books. And it's COMICSGATE. You're COMICSGATE. Ew. So that was the scandal. It was a scandal called COMICSGATE. And then over time, once I denied comics, that doesn't exist. It's not real. We don't need to do this. But eventually I realized I was being naive. And I think February of 2018, so like a month after I tweeted that, I said, I am COMICSGATE. Like, I used to deny that it was a real thing. It is a real thing. I don't want to be a part of it, but it's clear that I am a part of it. And no amount of denial is going to stop it. I can sit there and go, I'm not COMICSGATE. I'm not COMICSGATE. All I want. The only thing that really matters is what these people say. So you've got weirdos like Renfamous, you've got her creepy friends, all of their allies, the 12 weirdos on Twitter, and everyone else that they influence, who are going to call you COMICSGATE if you want to be or not. So the idea that I had was to simply turn it around and say, no, COMICSGATE's a badge of honor. Standing up to SJWs is a badge of honor. It is something that you should do. It's something you should be proud of, and it's something that if people are going to call you a label, lean into it. Make it mean what you actually are. If COMICSGATE is something that you are going to be called, then by your own behavior, by your own actions, by the things that you do, make COMICSGATE mean something good. Make it into a positive. Just like SJWs tried to call themselves social justice warriors, which sounds really wonderful until people realize what social justice warriors actually do and what their behavior is. And that label is now a slur. Now they're running from that label because that label is what defines them now. It's a shorthand little note that reminds people of the horrible behavior that they've seen from people like Renfamous and then this other weirdo here. It doesn't matter if Billy Tucci calls himself COMICSGATE. It doesn't matter if Doug Tenapel calls himself COMICSGATE. They've slipped backwards to pre-January of 2018. You're going to get called COMICSGATE, whether you want to be or not. That's what it is. That's the way it is. It doesn't matter if you say, I'm not COMICSGATE, I'm something else, I'm this, I'm that. No. All that matters is what they say. So either you are wearing it as a badge, you're wearing it as armor. Blacklist Universes here, Mike S. Miller, he says, wear it like a shield. Either you are wearing it proudly or it's going to be applied to you. One of the two. You're going to be tattooed. Either choose your tattoo or just accept your tattoo because it's going to happen to you. So Doug Tenapel's worried about it. Apparently, he's going to go there. He's like, I'm worried that I'm going to get assaulted. I'm worried that I'm going to get beaten up there. Well, I mean, yeah, these people are nuts. I would worry about it too. I would worry about it too. Milkshakes dumped all over you, people hitting you with lead pipes or whatever it is they're going to do, bike locks. I would worry about it. And I would, instead of running from because of individuals whose behavior I think is abhorrent. And there are a few individuals that I would point the finger of scorn at in this movement. A few. And I would like their behavior to change. And I think they know who they are. I think we all know who they are now. There's a few individuals, not everyone. I don't want to paper over any group, but there are a few individuals who I've seen. I want their behavior to change because their behavior chases away and fragments this larger movement that protects an entire group of people, an entire group of fans, an entire group of pros, an entire group of customers. And together we're strong. Together we do big stuff. Together we can have differences of opinion, but we can do big stuff together, and we become a movement and a force for good and change. Separately, when we're fighting with each other and when we're engaged in purity, squabbling, who's this, who's that, instead of just everyone just sort of getting along, we have disagreements. But disagreements shouldn't be things that separate us and push us apart and fragment us into different directions. Disagreements should be the things that bring us together and make our discussions more lively on YouTube. That's what I would like to see. Lee Duck, wow, thanks for 20 pounds. Hey, Uncle E and chat, I would love for you to check out the channel Humboldt Media and their documentary on social dyslexia. Thanks. Yeah. So this is the thing that I'd like to change. I watched Doug Tenapel, not Doug Tenapel. I watched Edwin Boyett's fantastic live stream last night for 4 hours. Edwin Boyett did a live stream where he got everyone together, like everyone who had an issue with COMICSGATE, everyone who was a former COMICSGATer, who felt like they had been overlooked somehow or felt like they had been abused or harassed by certain members within COMICSGATE. And everybody got to have their say. There were some people who were upset with the behavior of professionals, in this movement, and other people were just upset with each other and all the little cliques, all the little weird cliques. Some people saying this person was abused, and other people saying you don't know why this person was abused. He was abused because of these things he did. Oh, I didn't know that. Rah, rah, rah. Who cares? These people aren't going away. These people aren't going away. They're not going away. Renfamous isn't going away. This person here is not going away. This person who wants to call us a hate group, this person who wants to threaten Doug Tenapel, this person who makes Doug Tenapel feel unsafe. And I don't care how you feel about Doug Tenapel and whatever, I have a few complaints with Doug Tenapel myself, but I have a few complaints with all he is. I don't care. He should be safe to go to San Diego Comic-Con. That should be transparent. I mean, we should all agree with that. We should all agree with that. He should be safe to go to San Diego Comic-Con. Now, I will tell you this. A situation in which Doug Tenapel or Billy Tucci or me or your boy Zach or Mike S. Miller or John Malin, any of these guys should be able to go to Comic-Con without any incident, without weirdos coming and attacking them. That safety can be provided by us, by ourselves. We can actually do that if we actually work together and stop the infighting and focus our guns outwards. And I'm just as guilty of this as all of you. I do this too. There are certain people that are kind of aligned or semi-aligned with COMICSGATE who really get under my skin. And I try over and over again to try to, come to terms with these people, and it doesn't work out. And I feel like some people are sneaky and all this. In the long run, in the greater scheme of things, this is the real problem. This is the real problem. And every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to try to make a renewed effort towards, getting everybody to sort of work together, if possible. If possible. Well, we got a lot to do. We've just got a lot to do still. The comic book industry is collapsing. Sales are down again another month, 5%, 5.6% down from last year. And it just keeps going. It's like the industry's collapsing. And what's going to happen is this. What's going to happen is right now we're in a big warehouse together with plenty of stocks of equipment. If this is the zombie Holocaust, let's compare everything to the zombie Holocaust. We're in a big warehouse. We've got everything that we need. But we're fighting with each other. And in the meantime, the end of the world is happening real time outside of our doors. And it's not going to be long before these crazy zombies start pounding in on the doors because the comic industry is collapsing. Already, we've got big name comic pros reaching out to us going, Okay, now we thought Zach was a fluke. Ethan was interesting. Doug Tenapel is phenomenal. Okay, now this is 3 big campaigns in a row. It's not going away. How do we do this? How do we do this? How can we be a part of this? I don't know. How much do you love comics? How important are comics to you? So, in any case, not to go off on a big lecture about this, I loved it. I love the I keep saying Doug Tenable. I love the Edwin Boyett thing last night. Absolutely loved it. I'm concerned about the Doug Tenable thing here. All right, and you should be too. You should be too. So, tell a friend. Talk to these people who you're fighting with. Make peace. Try to form new allies. Try to make people feel happy and comfortable here. I really hate to think customers are being scared away. People who have been supporting COMICSGATE because maybe they had a disagreement or maybe they formed an alliance or an alliance. They spoke to or utilized help from people who are frowned upon in some circles. I think that's just defeatist. I think that's going to make us smaller, and I think we need to get bigger, bigger like me. Yeah, new comrades. Let's see. People say I like Edwin till religion starts. Well, Chris Sura says, what happened to Doug? Nothing happened to Doug. He's trying to go to San Diego, and anti-COMICSGATE is trying to shut him down. And the whole point of this is, Doug Tenapel is quick to say, I'm not COMICSGATE. It doesn't matter what Doug Tenapel says. It doesn't matter what he says. He could say whatever he wants to say. What matters is what these people say about him that puts him in jeopardy. If he doesn't want to ally with COMICSGATE directly, then that's fine. This is what matters. This is a concern that he could be assaulted at San Diego Comic-Con, or at least he's being threatened in this way. I don't think anything's going to happen. The chances of something happening to him that happened to Jeremy Hambley they're small. Hopefully Doug's going to be safe. He's not going to be hanging out in places by himself, alone, drunk at night. But you never know. It's just these chances are small, but the threat exists, and I think it's just important that we all kind of work towards coming together a little bit more. Yeah. GK one says COMICSGATE is 5XL big. Angela Richter says nobody defines you but you. Don't allow them to define you. Angela, that's not strictly true. It doesn't matter. I mean, they do define you. The enemy does decide. These people are the enemy. These anti-COMICSGATE SJWs are the enemy, and all they need to do is tell their other weirdos, dangerous people, that you are a target. Why are you a target? Because you're COMICSGATE. And they will define you that way. And ultimately, you get to say who you are. And listen, we're going to listen to each other. But when it comes to this is the real threat that, COMICSGATE was grew to oppose. Yeah. Jet Jackal says, Ethan is not fat. Well, yes, I am. By the way, sitting there talking to Andrea, I have a thing now with my wife where, she'll say, hey, what are you thinking about? And, normally what people do is just say nothing. But I actually have decided that whenever Andrea wants to know what's in my head at any given moment, like if she sees me staring off into space, or if a frown comes over my face or a smile, I'm going to actually tell her, what I'm thinking at that moment, even if it's nonsense. It's kind of funny when it's nonsense. It's like, I was just thinking, if I fired a shotgun in the air and there were 8 ducks, how many of them could I hit with a single blast, a single spray? And she'll be like, what? That's literally what I was thinking right at that moment. But today she was like, what are you thinking about? And I was like, I was thinking that I'm fat. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking my clothes don't fit as well as they used to. And I've really got to double down and work harder, on this. I got to lose weight. I'm way too heavy right now. And she was like, huh? And I said, I always tell you exactly what I'm thinking every single time. That's a rule that I've made, a commitment that I've made to our marriage. That if she wants to know what's in my brain, I'm going to actually tell her, because there's nothing worse that you could do than like sit there with a frown on your face or something, staring off into space, and your spouse goes, "What are you thinking about?" And you just go, "Nothing." You're like, "Ooh, like what are they thinking about?" So yeah, at any moment, Mick. Well, yeah, of course. What kind of secrets would I keep from Andrea? If I'm having dirty thoughts, I would let her know. Makes sense. Yellow Flash goes, okay. Yellow Flash, you should know I'm right. Yellow Flash says, drop the soda. Well, I mean, I only drink Monster Energy drinks, and they're 0 calories, but I really should. It's just hard to focus without a lot of caffeine when I'm trying to draw. All right, by the way, so Bitcoin. Oh, I just dropped again. Bitcoin, when it gets down to $9,000, I'm going to buy one. I probably, unless it just keeps going. Mike, are you in here? What do you think of this? Is this just one more thing? It's just, this is just a temporary dip. Buy the dips. I am gonna buy. I'm gonna buy the plunge. This is Savage Gaming says EVS, try swimming. I do. I swim every day. I exercise. Yeah. Mike, it got down under 10,000 yesterday, from what I understand. I wasn't here to see it and make fun of it, but I read an article. It got down into the 9,000s again, and then it kind of bounced back up. Is it gonna shoot up to 15? Do I buy now or do I keep waiting? Look at this. And people are saying things like, "Look, yeah, Bitcoin price tumbles following Trump's criticism. Bitcoin plunges, briefly falling below $10,000 as Trump slams cryptocurrency." Meanwhile, this guy's like, "I'm going to double down, $1 million. This is a whale messing with it." Renee GZ says, "Keep waiting." No, wait for it to go down to 3,000. I will. That's what I'm going to do. But I see this happening, and I'm just like, oh boy, what a weird roller coaster. What a weird roller coaster ride. All right. Yesterday I had your boy Zach on. Oh, good. Look at this. Let's see. Did it get to 93 yet? Yes. I said today is the day. Today is the day we're going to get Jawbreakers God King, the graphic novel, up to 6 figures. Is this possible? Those of you who are in the chat right now who haven't yet backed Jawbreakers God King, could you guys please push forward today? We need to get this campaign to 6 figures. Today. I think it's great. We're following up on the big success of Earthworm Jim. We need to have another big success with Jawbreakers God King. Already, this campaign is doing way better than the first one did. Way better, way quicker. Zach did the math, and it's like moving at 175% of the pace of the first campaign, which is encouraging. But the first campaign stayed open for a long time. He kept it open for a long time, and eventually it landed, I think, at like $404,000. I would like to see it just close at that after 2 months worth of funding. That'd be phenomenal. So if you're here and you have not yet backed Jawbreakers God King, do that. I'm going to make a video. I'll make a little like solo 10-minute video about it, talking about what I think and all this stuff. But every single live stream, I'm going to ask you guys, if you have, if you haven't yet, or if you want to back at a higher tier, Zach added this yesterday. This is the signed edition. So you'll be able to get God King and the pinup for $100, autographed by your boy Zach. This is the great, the probably the best option. I don't know why this isn't the preferred option that's up here. It really should be. You get the book and you get the pinup. It's $100. It's your boy Zach's signature. We've already sold 25 of them, I guess, in like less than 24 hours, which is phenomenal. But we want to get this campaign pushed forward. And I'll tell you something. I think when we get to maybe $120,000, I'm gonna ask Zach if he wants me to do a cover. We talked about it, but it's not official yet. I think that should be a stretch goal. 120,000. I'll do a cover for this and just make it rock. This book looks phenomenal. This is like, the artwork for this book is inspirational to me. I love the way this guy draws. What's his name? Alfecci? Alphonse, why isn't his name like right? Let me remind myself. Oh, Aaron Alfecci. I was right. Aaron Alfecci is a phenomenal artist. This is terrific work. Look at the power of this punch. Look at the power of this as the ground cracks on from underneath them. Look at the energy waves here, just the impact. This is like Hong Kong style artwork, man. This is just so good, so cool. You can just feel his sternum and his ribs breaking under this punch. Uh, people who say COMICSGATE is 90s style comics, they're wrong. This isn't 90s style comics at all. This is just good old fashioned rock and roll. This never gets old. This doesn't look like you could place this in any time period. This never gets old. This is what people want. This is what people want. This is when comics were on the stands and they were electric. You put a comic book that looks like this on the stands, it sells itself. Most of this stuff now is so dry and soy-based and just like it's ironic and cutesy. It makes fun of itself. This comic book is completely all in. It's balls to the wall. This comic book is just like, hey, man, we're going to take this all the way. Look at this cityscape. Oh, I'm like envious of this artist. I could look at this all day. This sequence, giant robot in Times Square. I used to love this stuff as a kid. Just mechs fighting in Times Square. By the way, we really should get back to my original idea of Tex-Mex, like just American mech made from, kind of like stuff people build in their garage. Texans with super garages, blue-collar Texans with super garages that are able to take school buses and cars and just vehicles and build shit like this. Tex-Mex. Be awesome. Yeah, so can I draw mechs? I can draw anything, Alpha Nibba. I always tell my kids that. Can you draw? I can draw anything. Absolutely anything. Maybe you've heard of me. My name's Ethan Van Sciver. So yeah, of course. But yeah, back Jawbreakers God King, back this campaign. I want to see this get to 100,000 if we can get it there. Some of you guys are already supporting it. I love refreshing it and just seeing it change, just seeing it jump up a little bit. You guys are awesome. And you guys, Zach definitely deserves this. Zach's worked hard on this book. The book's almost finished. It's going to be in your hands ASAP. And you're going to be happy that you backed it. Over here, by the way, Cyberfrog Blood Honey is going to be in my hands this Friday. I'm going to have my copies of Cyberfrog Blood Honey. I am so excited about that. I'll do a great big thing to show you guys. I'm only $100. Look at this. I'm like $130, $124 away from 230,000. Micah Robinson says, I will pay money for a response video to Razor Fist comic book rant. Yeah, I watched his video and I liked it, but he's wrong about a bunch of stuff. He's right about a lot of stuff, but he's also wrong about a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Should I do a response? Razor Fist is usually like, he's fascinating to listen to. He's very, very smart. He's got a good point of view, but I hate to say it, he's almost always wrong. He's wrong about Michael Jackson. And he's got all this evidence that just, kind of pokes at the testimony of two people who were very clearly molested by Michael Jackson as kids. Well, he says he was here in 1986, but he wasn't. So that means he's a liar. This guy is unstable, and he's been, he goes back and forth about suing Michael Jackson. You don't say. A guy who's been molested by the king of pop since he was 8 years old is a little unstable. Might be considering, a million reasons to come forward, but then backs off all the time because it's really scary. Yeah, all that stuff seems kind of normal to me. Anyway, besides that, his thing about the 90s comics, we could get into it the same way. Yeah, a lot of people got burned because they bought a ton of multiple copies of 90s comics that are absolutely worthless now, and that's the reason why some people walked away. But that is not the sum totality of 90s comics. That is not why Marvel Comics, Image Comics, DC Comics were succeeding in the 90s. It wasn't just because people were the speculator boom. That's an excuse. Those comics were electric. Those comics sold themselves. If you went and back in time and looked at them, those comics were beautiful. People wanted to buy them. They didn't read very well, most of them. That wasn't the point. You just wanted to buy them. These were objects that people wanted to buy. And that's so much of what, what I want to bring back is like, yeah, these comic books need to look good. Cyberfrog needs to look good. It needs to be shiny. It needs to look amazing. Where did Michael Jackson touch you, EBS? In my heart, Samurai Vader. I heard heal the world, and I was like, what a great idea. When is somebody going to heal the world? Fantastic. Yeah. All right. A lot of people are still upset about Michael Jackson. I don't know what to tell you. It just is what it is. Everyone loves Michael Jackson. Nobody wants to think it's true, but oh, my friends, come on. It is. It's pretty obvious. So in any case, yeah, I'd make a response video about the Michael Jackson thing too. But that would get like 1 million thumbs down. Nobody wants to hear that kind of news. It's not popular. It's not popular to talk about things like that. It's not popular. The only thing that people want to really talk about in this day and age is Star Wars and Galaxy's Edge, and for some reason, a vibrating Sarlacc pit for four ladies or gentlemen. I don't know. What is this? This is a Galaxy's Edge right now. Have a seat. That is the spookiest thing. How do Lucasfilm? How do Lucas look at the tongue, dude? What is that? Come on. There's no way that could be anything else. There's no way that could be anything else. They did that on purpose. They did it on purpose. Yeah. I think this is part of the Jason Ward posted this. He's like, I learned a lot at Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, it's disturbing. Highly, highly, highly disturbing. Yeah, people want to talk about that. And there are some people who want to silence people who want to talk about that. The shill media, the Star Wars shill critics. And Jason Ward is one of them. For one thing, all right, look, Galaxy's Edge is open, and it is not doing as well for Disneyland as people thought it would. And this is obvious. People are talking about it. There are articles that are being written about it. But still, there are show media figures, especially those on Twitter and YouTube, who are denying all this and saying, well, I guess Disney's not doing very well. I'm in a long line right now. I'm in a long line. I'll be here all day. I guess they're just not doing well. They're not. They're cutting hours back. They're telling park employees that maybe they should, find extra work somewhere else. And in the meantime, of course, the shill media critics over at Star Wars, over at Lucasfilm in their good graces, the Disney folk, are covering all this up. Two reasons. I love Ruin Johnson here. This guy's great. Ruin Johnson. It's like a round-headed Ryan Johnson avatar with like lit up red eyes. Look at. I wish Ryan Johnson could actually do that. It's awesome. He's like, look at this. Yeah, this is the thing. The discrepancy. And I don't really know what to make about this. Alita Battle Angel only got 61% positive reviews, but 94% of people who saw it loved it. And then pretty much the other way around with The Last Jedi, 91% certified fresh for The Last Jedi critics. And only 44%. The audience, less than half of the audience, did not projectile vomit after seeing Star Wars The Last Jedi. It is strange. So they're obviously they're not aligned. The taste of the critic is not aligned with the viewer. And I mean, I guess you could say, well, look, maybe the viewers have bad taste. That's possible. Maybe they like crap and they loathe art. I don't think that's the case because I've seen The Last Jedi 3 times and it was garbage. It was awful. I haven't seen Alita Battle Angel yet, but everyone who saw it loved it. So I don't know. I'm going to have to rent that. Wonder if it's available yet. Painkiller Studio says, don't you have to be verified now to post a review? Yes. And Rowan Johnson goes on to say, Star Wars is a bit of tongue-in-cheek fun, but there's a serious point to be made here. Don't expect honesty from people who get privileges from those who they are supposed to objectively review. You're looking at the critics here. All of the critics that sit there and give beautiful, glowing reviews to everything Lucasfilm does got free early passes to come in to Galaxy's Edge. Now, I didn't get a free early pass. I didn't get one. I'm a critic. I'm a Star Wars critic. I did not receive a free early pass. I don't think Geeks and Gamers did either. His channel's even bigger than mine. He did not receive one. These people did. These people are idiots. I think this is Steele Saunders. This is the guy who approached Daisy Ridley on the red carpet at Star Wars Celebration and said, "Do you know what the Reylos are? And are you a Reylo?" And she was like, "No, they are harassing me, my family, my friend, and his family, and wishing our children dead. So I have a problem with the Reylos." And he's like, "Oh, Spark, thanks for $9.99. Says, "Hey Ethan, thanks for the entertainment. Can I get a shout out for my channel, Comic Works? Just did a rant on the Attack on You by Preston Poulter." Oh, I would love to see that. I like the Preston Poulter attack was pretty funny. We did a video on that too. Sometimes as people go, "Why do you respond?" Because it's fun. If it's fun, I'll respond. All right, so these guys, here is oh my god, here's Swank Motron and his head is shrunk. John Campia, and I don't know who this guy is here. I'm not sure who that is. But yeah, this is just an embarrassment. Like, yeah, come on. What these guys got special privileges to come to this theme park. They were invited by Disney. Do you think they're ever going to give you an honest assessment of anything that Disney does and risk losing their opportunity to go to Disney World? That is why I constantly talk about the shill media. These people are shills. These people are so concerned about their bonus privileges. They're so wowed by the opportunity to go do something free and early and fun with Disney Lucasfilm that they will lie to you. They let go of their primary purpose. Their objective is to be honest, to be objective about everything that goes on and all of the movies and all of the decisions. Of course, they're not going to do that. They're having drinks. They're having drinks at Galaxy's Edge and smiling and wearing a Resistance cap. Taking pictures of themselves. "I'm here. I got here early. I'm here earlier than you. And I only had to sell my soul and my balls to get here." Well, congratulations. So all of these pictures, when you see these guys, you see Steele Saunders, you see Swank Motron, you see John Campia, and whoever these people are. I don't know who they are. I'm not sure. But you see these guys just, and whatever their opinion is, just discount it. Just reject their opinion. They're doing it for a free roller coaster ride before you get to. These are little children. They want to ride before you, and they're going to lie to you to get there. Ridiculous. All right, scrolling down. The shills try to silence us because they fear real opinions and how people react to them. That's why the Fandom Menace resonates with so many Star Wars fans. Thanks, and these are Fandom Menace guys. So Fandom Menace is, I'm in the Fandom Menace too. I'm COMICSGATE and Fandom Menace. In fact, I'm the one. Fandom Menace, I think I'd heard before, but I'm the one who started calling us Fandom Menace. I'm going to be like John Delarose and be like, when I started the Fandom Menace, the way he does with COMICSGATE. That's why the Fandom Menace resonates with so many Star Wars fans. Thanks, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, my pal, Jeremy. Okay, who's important. This guy's important. He's doing good work. There's me, world-class bullshitters, the great Jeff Hicks, who makes me laugh. His videos about Toys R Us were the saddest and funniest videos. I don't watch people's videos like more than once too often, but this guy's videos, I've watched his Toys R Us Star Wars is Dying videos like 100 times, man. He's just got, he walks around Toys R Us and he points out that the Star Wars toys on the shelves have been there since 2015. There's a thick layer of dust over them. They've been there for years, since The Force Awakens came out. They're still there, unsold. Nobody wants them. And the entire time he's pointing this out, there's elevator music playing in the background. I don't know why it kills me. Lord Doomcock, another fantastic critic. He's always on, he comes on the High Council a lot. Let's see, I Am Robot Head I met. Mauler, I haven't really talked to Mauler. Of course, Anna, that Star Wars girl, and SC Reviews, another great critic. All these guys, join their channels, enjoy. I wasn't expecting that. That's a great. Oh, I wasn't expecting that in high def. We're doing a thing now where, like, if pictures of people who are shills, if you're a shill, we're shrinking your head by 50%. His head isn't really that tiny, okay? It's just he's a shill, and so because you're a shill, we're gonna, we're gonna meme on you by shrinking your head. That's what happens. You deserve to have a shrunken head. You are a shrunken head. You're a shrunken head because you are selling out everything for privileges. You so want to work for Lucasfilm. You so very badly want to work for these people that you are going to shill and sell out your fellow Star Wars fans for these privileges. Shrunken head like that. Wait, where's this thing I was looking for? Everyone's excited about this tweet thread. Anyway, there are people who want to absolutely destroy us. Of course, this is another version of COMICSGATE. I don't know if it's just as bad, but it's pretty bad. Like, we got to figure out a way to mass report and destroy. I've got SJW comic book fans, and I've got SJW Star Wars fans trying to destroy me both at once. It's uncomfortable. Let's see. Wookie Sack of Shit says it makes him look less soy. Mr. V says you should check out Mahler's EFAP streams where they take down the Last Jedi Defenders. It's glorious. That does sound like fun. People are talking about EFAP. It really does sound like a good time. I think World Class Bullshitters was on an episode of EFAP last night. I said, "What are you doing? How come you're not at the WWE with me?" And he said, "I'm on EFAP right now." I was like, "Fantastic. Good for you." Also in the news, the morning show, by the way, the morning show is news and opinion. Do we have Beatles fans here? Are you guys Beatles fans? I mean, I am. I think now in my old age, I prefer the Beach Boys, but like, I got to admit, I've really, I grew up with the Beatles. Yeah, I grew up with the Beatles and absolutely love the Beatles. I don't listen to them as much anymore because I have all their music memorized. Christopher82 says only Ringo. People say no, not into them. Beatles suck. No, Beatles are the greatest. White Album. Renee GZ says, Uncle E, if you survive Star Wars Celebration, you're good. My mom is a Beatles fan. Yeah, I walked around Star Wars Celebration, cock of the walk. I had no problems. I'm not saying I had a good time, but it was no problem. Conventions to me are kind of, I don't know. I've done too many of them. They've lost their charm for the most part. But the Beatles. Last night, something pretty historic happened. Paul McCartney, in the last show, he's ending his tour. He brought Ringo Starr out on stage to play. I realized, I was like, oh, that's nice. Ringo was there. And then I realized, no, that's all the Beatles. That's the end. I forgot that George Harrison died. We only had 2 Beatles left. So we had a Beatles reunion at Dodger Stadium last night. What did they do? Well, I want to watch this. You guys might not want to watch this, but I do. Let me see. People are telling me the Beatles suck. Let's see this video here. Play, damn you. Why is everything a problem all the time? I hear you. Whoa. I wasn't expecting that. We got Joe Walsh from the Eagles. I don't want to see that. Oh, look, it's World Class Bullshitters. He lied. He was playing drums for Paul McCartney last night. I didn't realize that. I thought Ringo was. Has this video been shut down? Am I not allowed to watch it? Oh. Well, he played Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band Reprise. Is it reprise or reprise? And then he also played Helter Skelter, but apparently he didn't say, I've got blisters on my fingers. But still, what a cool event, man. What a cool treat. What a treat for people. Gotta like that. Yeah. All right. So, also, what's going on in the world? I don't know. What is going on in the world? People are starting to talk about Brie Larson's Basmati Blues again. This is something that, I think that this is not going to go away. People are going to keep bringing this up. Do you guys know about this movie? Is Zach in here? Is Zach in the chat right now? Let me see. There he is. Ethan goes to comic book conventions and asks which table Jack Kirby is sitting at. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, Zach, how many conventions have I done? I've done 100 conventions. No, more than 100. I've done 1,000 conventions. You know, I've probably done 1,000 conventions. It's like, yeah, I'll go now to like autograph shows, but and enjoy them. But yeah, like Star Wars Celebration was the only good reason to do that is to hang out with friends and make some videos. Let's see. Gregory Sharp says Beatles totally rule. Almost 50 years after they broke up and they're still mainstream. Yeah. G-Cat says, congrats on your early success with God King. Yeah, I mean, we're just 1 week now, 1 week out of the gate. And your boy Zach is already like pushing in on the 6-figure mark. I'm going to promote the hell out of this. I got to let people know about God King. You guys can help. We got to, let people know, spread the word about this book. And let's get this campaign to $100,000, right in the first week. I think that would be pretty damn impressive. And again, it just keeps sending a very discouraging message to very sad people who have produced 1,500 pages. They produce 1,500 pages in a year worth of comic books, but they haven't made a 1/10 of what Zach's made. They haven't, and they sit there and squabble with us. They're jealous guys in comics. There are some jealous guys in comics. These jealous guys, they produced 1,500 pages of comic, and they have not made a 1/10, not a quarter, not a 1/10 of what Zach's made. Makes me sad. Feel like playing a little music. Let's play a little music for all the jealous guys. All the jealous guys in comics. You've got Dave Johnson. You've got Mags Visaggio. This goes out to you.
There's a lot of jealous guys in this town and many other towns I go to.
A lot of jealous guys.
Right now, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna need 112 and puff to help me explain how.
Little Mace here.
So come on,
There's jealous guys in our town.
Would you be mad if I gave back your girl?
Would you be mad?
Or would it still be a problem with the entire Harlem world?
Would it still be a problem if Zach made $93,000?
She was your ex.
Yeah.
But you was ready to kill me when you found out we had sex.
They're haters. You're right, Zach. We told you the deal, and you wouldn't admit how you feel. The comic book fans love us. Why can't you just be happy for us? Just be happy for us today. Yes, Zach, it's Mace and Puff Daddy singing off key on purpose. They are. By the way, this song is why Mace had to leave New York. He was singing about Some guy's girlfriend that he banged. But it applies to us too. Do what you do. This is me and Zach are going to cover this song the exact same way. We told you the deal. But Dave Johnson wouldn't admit how he feel. Why can't they just be happy for us? Why can't SJW Comics be happy for COMICSGATE? Zach says, oh yeah, this song is awful. Of course it is. That was the whole point. Yeah.
As I said before, I go by the name of Pop Daddy, and I'm a Scorpion, and I'm not a jealous guy.
All right, wait. They're jealous guys. No, you don't like this song? But there are jealous guys in our town. Angela Richter hates me now. All right, thanks everyone. Daniel Savala says, EVS, please stop. Your voice access. This is hilarious. Oh my God, it is hilarious. I don't understand. Why is it that these people can't be happy for Zach's success? Why? Why can't they be happy with Mike S. Miller's success? Mike S. Miller sold 150,000 something or other copies of Lone Star 2. Dave Johnson said that he wouldn't be able to do it. Why can't Dave Johnson just be happy for Mike? Why does he have to run him down? Why can't SJW Spider-Man just be proud of me? Why can't he be proud of our success? Why can't he be just, stand back in admiration? I don't know. It really says a lot about them. It is sad. It's very sad indeed. All right, so let's get back to this ridiculousness here. And thank you. If you haven't yet backed your boy Zach, back Zach. And do it again. All right. Brie Larson's 2017 film Basmati Blues went straight to home video after being called a racist, stereotyping white savior cringe fest. Indians, like people from India, not Native Americans, okay, criticized it, depicting them as uneducated savages with goats. That's not what Indians are, who eat rice off leaves. They don't eat rice off leaves and need white savior Brie Larson to rescue them. They definitely don't need that. Even if they did, even if they were uneducated savages with goats who eat rice off leaves, they do not need Brie Larson to save them. All right. Basmati Blues movie review. Everyone involved, including star Brie Larson, should be ashamed of this tone-deaf, racist, offensive disaster. Look at her face. I'm saving this brown man. I'm saving this brown man. That looks like a porno cover. I don't know about that. Two Americans pretending to be Indian. I don't know about that. This better not be porn. Kaiser Vermillion says they hate you because they ain't you. I wish they'd stop being so jealous. I do. Oh, I'm not screen sharing. I'm sorry. Let me screen share. There are jealous guys in our town. There are jealous guys in the comic book industry. I don't understand why. All right, so does this look like porn? Does it look like porn to you? I mean, honestly, it kind of does to me. It kind of does to me. Basmati Blues movie review. You won't believe how racist and insulting Brie Larson's film is. Basmati Blues movie review. Everyone involved, including star Brie Larson, should be ashamed of this offensive, racist, and tone-deaf disaster. This is her pre-nose job. Alan Sparks, he does think that this is perhaps porn. All right, let's find out. All right, here's what people had to say about it. Hot Girl Putin says, I cannot believe Brie Larson is going to be in a movie called, wait for it, Basmati Blues, where she plays the white savior helping out the local Indian population. Shaking my head. This person says, I deeply respect and admire Brie Larson as an actor, an advocate, but I'm sorely disappointed she chose to star in a film rife with Indian stereotypes and the white savior trope. I don't think she just starred in it. I think she helped produce it. Brie Larson, what is this Basmati Blues bullshit? I thought you were better than that. I'm beyond disappointed you agreed to participate in this white savior narrative garbage. Asha Thanky says, Donald Sutherland's character literally says, the train of progress will not be stopped, in the trailer for Basmati Blues. Very, very done with white savior progress narratives. Uh-oh. Wait till you get a load of me. Yeah, Brie Indian shipping. Yeah, these people are insane, Savage Gaming. You're 100% right. By the way, thank you all of you who have joined the channel. I'm seeing a lot of green names here. If you haven't yet joined, if you're not a member of Comic Artist Pro Secrets, you know, the link is right next to the subscribe button. Just go over there and hit join, and you will be a member of this channel. You're going to get your name turned green. You're going to have access to a bunch of emojis that make fun of Mike S. Miller. And you will enjoy yourself extra, especially. Also, you'll be invited to limited attendance. Only the people with green names will be invited to come to these chats to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. We'll talk about your feelings. We'll talk about your fifis, as that umbrella guy says. So just hit that join button. It's $4.99 a month, and I thank you. All right, let's go on with this. Adita Fruitwala says, oh, thank God Basmati Blues is perpetuating the white savior trope. It's been a minute since a movie has reminded me that white problems are solving all our problems. Yeah. Not sure whether to laugh or cry at this. The stereotypes are unbelievable. We'll be boycotting Basmati Blues. Well, thank you, white savior. That'll fix everything for the Indian people. All of these people are white. Thank you for being white saviors on behalf of the Indian people. You're all doing the same thing. And we got some Indian people at the bottom here, I think, though. When my wife moved to the U.S. from Sri Lanka, her teacher asked if she went to school on an elephant. Good to see America has moved on. Hashtag Basmati Blues. Well, did you answer the question? Did you go to school on an elephant? If you could go to school on an elephant, I would move to Sri Lanka. That'd be awesome. I'd rather have an elephant than a Ford Mustang, easily. I'd love to ride an elephant. Madhu says, well, they managed to work a goat into the first 30 seconds of the trailer. But yeah, can we have some depth, please? It gets tiring. Oh, you know. Most SJWs managed to work a goat into the first 30 centimeters of their rectum. So Sean Chan says, I'm highly offended by the trailer. This is typical of Hollywood to portray Indians in this light. Wow. I kind of want to see this movie. Okay, so here we go. More Indians or SJW? These are all Indians, I guess. All right. Sigh. Hey, look, dated stereotypes of with a healthy dose of white savior narrative. I'll reserve final judgment until I see the movie, but I thought we were past this shit. I thought we'd evolved. I thought we'd evolved past this shit. Jeez. Jesus. Movies like this are why people constantly ask me if I'm half British, presumably because I don't have an accent and I'm not draped in snakes. You know what? They don't... listen... Say what you want about Basmati Blues, but you know, I think the thing that influenced most Americans about Indian culture was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I mean, that changed my whole thinking about Indians. And nobody talks about it, but you know, did these people eat chilled monkey brains? Do they scoop the guts out of beetles? I mean, you know, think about that. Mola Ram, Kula Ram. That's serious. Swinging Cod says, you can ride my elephant, bow chicka wow wow. Chucky Wookie says, how funny would it be if the crazy pack turned on her and started eating her alive? What would she do? That's a lonely spoke to be hung out on. Yeah. Kalima. Kalima. Yeah. Brie Larson ripped my heart out too, but in a different way. Hollywood needs to stop making movies about my country. Oh my God, the trailer, the amount of stereotypes makes me want to pull my hair out. The whole trailer is super cringeworthy, but I lost it when white savior girl pulls out a microscope on a moving Indian train. I gotta admit, that's pretty clever. Can you look through a microscope on a moving train? I guess you can't. Like all the bumps and vibrations. How would you? I mean, she's trying to do the science. Brie Larson is trying to do the science, which she loves, on a moving train with a microscope. I don't think you can do that. That's one of those things that as a filmmaker, you should say, can you do that? And then somebody should say no. And you should say, all right, well, shit. You can't do that. You can't look at a microscope on a train. Me here, you there says Brie does the science. The science sucks. I don't want women to do the science. Unless it's the science of cooking and food preparation. I don't want it. Food preparation is a science. You know? What science do they need to do? This is all funny. Clip by SJW Spider-Man. How you doing, weirdo? Clip that. Dr. Pumila Kumpala says it's 2017 and we're still not past the genre of mystical Indian savages getting saved by a white person films. Raul Warrior says this is ridiculous. They've completely ignored the culture of the country. Typical to portray India as about rice, spicy food, poverty, poor English, and cringy music. India don't need a white savior. We're good without them. DL Thomas says, bonjour, Ethan. Well, thank you. The same to you. Johnny Dollar says, Brie blinded me with science. Yeah, I'd like to blind her with scissors. But I mean, that's, again, SJW Spider. Hi, SJW Spider-Man. That's going to get clipped. Oh, can't say anything right today. You know. Oh, well. Don't forget people pooping on the street, says Adrian Stone. Is that in this movie? I don't know. Let's see. Nia says, also, it's 2017. Most of our trains run on electricity, which means you can't ride on the roof. And please retire that trope of spicy food already. We know you can't handle anything of color. Damn, girl. Damn. Chris Collins says, don't get so angry. All right, I won't. I apologize. I take it back. It's poetry in motion. All right, let me see what else is going on here. Data Racer points out that Basmati Blues producers had to issue a formal apology after the original trailer came out. And it's been scrubbed from YouTube. If Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 11%, you know the film is bad. Why didn't Netflix put this one out like Unicorn Store? And then he does the laughing until you're crying emoji. SJWs don't like this emoji because it means you're laughing so hard at them that tears are coming out of your eyes. They find this to be demeaning. They really, really, really don't like this. So do this all the time. Whenever you're talking to SJWs, just go ahead and do this. All right, so let's read this. Oh, God, this is going to be soy-based. We deeply regret any offense caused by the Basmati Blues trailer. We have heard a number of voices that have understandably reacted to a trailer that is not representative of the film as a whole. Unfortunately, the international trailer has given the wrong impression of the film's message at its heart. This movie is not about an American going abroad to solve India's problems. At its heart, this film is about two people who reach across cultures, fight against corporate greed, and find love. Sounds fucking horrible. I'd much rather it be about a white savior saving the Indian people. I would much rather it be about that. Instead of reach across cultures, fight against corporate greed, and find love. Do you think the SJWs in comics think they're fighting against corporate greed? It's Marvel and DC, like cut the amount of books they're coming out as their profit margins thin to razor thin. they can afford to pay people anymore. Do you think they're like? Do you think SJWs think they're fighting corporate greed? Like Marvel and DC are greedy? I didn't think about that. Fighting corporate greed. Don't fight corporate greed. Support it. It's good. It's people. It's corporations are made up of people with families. Support corporate greed. It employs people. Basmati Blues is an ensemble musical romantic. Oh, there's music in it. Musical romantic comedy. The film explores our responsibility for our actions and for each other, and attempts to do it in a disarming way, using music, comedy, and romance. Basmati Blues is a love letter to multiple eras of Bollywood cinema, musicals, and classic Hollywood romantic comedies. We are confident that the film, when seen in its entirety, will bear out our appreciation and respect for India and its people. All right, so that's a pretty good apology. What they're saying is that support your local corporation. Yes, atheismo. Atheismo. Yeah, support them. Support your local corporation. Support Walmart. Support Chick-fil-A. 100%. Onitis Mad Hatter says, I don't respect anyone. That's probably good. Let them earn your respect. Just be like, I would respect people if they'd earn my respect, but they haven't yet. And then let them ask what they can do. How can I earn your respect? All right, let's see. Monica Caulfield and Dan Barron made this apology addressing Basmati Blues backlash. It's the same crap POC here every time this happens. Look at this here. Look at this angry duck face smirk. Angry duck face smirk. Wait, let me turn my camera on. We got to do the angry duck face smirk. Now maybe you guys can do this too. I don't know. Let me see here. Why is everything a problem? All right, there we go. I think that's it. Wait. All right, let's double check and make sure I got it right. Some of you will have already screen shared that. That's good. That's what I need you to do. And then, oops, compare it to this right here. The whole side of her face is sunk in. Why is that? Yeah, pretty good. Never Cold says, looks about right, EVS. Yeah, I don't know. I figured I could do it, you know. All right, so every time liberals and SJWs accidentally offend POC. POC stands for people of color, does not stand for pieces of crap. A lot of people go, why do you support pieces of crap? And I'm like, no. People of color, not pieces of crap. I understand. They should really just call them people of color and not POC, POC. All right. Look, the video's unavailable. They took it down. They took it down. All right. You can no longer watch Brie Larson being racist towards Indian people. You know. What's this say? Oh, look at the critics' consensus. By the way, once again, the critics are wrong. 11% of people on the Tomatometer. On the Tomatometer. I can say that better now. I used to have trouble with it. Tomatometer. 11% of critics liked it. They gave it a like that. That was a longer splat. Normally, like if it's like a 50%, it's a but like this is a like that. But audiences just spilled their bucket of popcorn. They gave it a 58%. 58% of people actually liked it. 58% of the people who saw this movie really enjoyed it. Rowdy Ruffian says POC is still offensive. It is? I don't want to be offensive. I'd like to issue an apology. Hold on. Let me issue an apology. I like issuing apologies. Right over here. I deeply regret any offense caused by me using the word POC. I have heard a number of voices in my chat that have understandably reacted to my comments that is not representative of all of my comments as an asshole. Unfortunately, the international trailer, unfortunately, my comments have given the wrong impression of my feelings about POC. This movie is not, My channel is not about. All right, I think that's all I need to do. All right, so I issued my apology. Let's see the reaction to it. Ethan Van Sciver made this apology addressing Pac. It's the same crap Pac here each time this happens. Oh. Didn't go over well. My apology didn't go over well. Jeff Bartlett says, Ethan is a person of light, a POL. I'm a pole. I'm a pole. Me here, you there says, this apology offends me. Oh, shit. I can't do anything right. And other people are saying never apologize. Never apologize to these people. That's usually my standard of behavior, is to just never apologize. But this time I did, and now I regret it because it didn't go over well. Agent Jeremy says, so 11% of critics hate this, but 91% like The Last Jedi. I'm so confused. This is clearly the better movie. It's probably more entertaining. Ron Lau Backer says, good morning, beautiful people. And again, Blarbful calls me White Savior, Ethan Van Sciver. I wouldn't mind if that were one of my new nicknames. Why can't I be White Savior, Ethan Van Sciver, Human Sunbeam? Why couldn't I be that? It's up to you guys. I don't choose my nicknames. I mean, I do, but, you know, not always. All right, over here, Comic Artist Pro Secrets shirts. I'm waiting right now. Any minute now, the new Soy Boy shirt is going to be available. Any minute now on this website, Crypto Fashion is going to put the new Soy Boy t-shirt. Right now, we've added the Comic Artist Pro Secrets all caps comics t-shirt, which is damn pretty. I've got a couple of these coming. You know what I did? I said to him, I said, hey guys, you know, instead of paying me royalties, can I just have t-shirts this time? Because I need all caps comics stuff. All caps comics. Oh, James Dean Anderson's here. He's the designer of the shirt. Avoid the soy. Avoid the soy. James Dean Anderson is the guy who assembled and designed this t-shirt. We're waiting for it to go up today. It's going to be very exciting. Crypto Fashion. He also did this logo. So James Dean Anderson, I think, is going to become my official logo designer. I really like his work. So this is on t-shirts. I just said, don't pay me royalties. Just send me t-shirts. And they said, okay. So you said you were 2XL, right? Or XL? And then that's when I realized I screwed myself over. Because, like, what am I going to admit to him? So I was like, yeah, 2XL. I was like, shit, I'm not going to be able to wear these. I'm not going to be able to wear these. If only I were honest. If I could be honest with Crypto Fashion and just be like, no, a little higher, a little higher. 3XL, Ethan? Keep going. 4? No, I get one more. Okay, Ethan, I'm going to send you 3 5XL t-shirts. That's all you had to do was tell me. All you had to do was tell me, and I'd be like, okay, thank you for 3 5XL t-shirts. Yeah. So that's on its way. I'm pretty excited about that. Over here, let me just show you what the t-shirt looks like. I'm very excited about it. I hope you guys will buy it. I hope you guys will wear it with pride. Look at this. Here it is. Avoid the soy. All caps comics. You've got the all caps comics logo on it. You've got the classic. By the way, I drew this with an enormous magic marker in 3 seconds, and this has become iconic. This dumb sketch is now as iconic as John Lennon's self-portrait. And that's what I want you to think of it as. This means everything to everyone. People say, why do they all look like this? I don't know, but they do. And then the more weirdos come out and the more soy boys we meet, the more this looks, like an accurate prediction. So avoid the soy. This t-shirt, I think it's going to come in white as well with black lettering, a bunch of different things. But yeah, I'm just waiting on Crypto Fashion to launch this shirt, and I will let you guys know. The link is in the description right now for Crypto Fashion, just my whole page. So if you want to get an all caps comics t-shirt, which of course you do, or all caps comics baseball hat, there's a baseball cap. They have different kinds. People go, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this kind of hat, the low profile hat. What if I want a snapback hat? No, you don't? Okay, well, then there's this right here. This is another one. Okay, you can get one of these. You choose which hat that you want. They're sending them. People already got them. When this t-shirt and hat launched a week and a half ago, I let people know they bought them. They're already wearing them. These guys are fast. Crypto fashion is fast, and they use quality, beautiful, beautiful t-shirts. You can get the charming, elegant, eloquent, and humble t-shirt if you want to. You can get the "This Better Not Be Porn" t-shirt. You can get, obviously, the Phantom Menace is the best seller. Everyone is wearing these right now. So much so, I told people, I said, look, you're allowed to make your own Phantom Menace t-shirt because I don't own it. I consider this to be public domain. So if you want to make your own, you can. But this is the Phantom Menace t-shirt. It's Crypto Fashion's Phantom Menace t-shirt. It's the best quality. It's the best looking one. I bought one a year ago or so. I still have it. It still looks great. And obviously the Cyberfrog t-shirt as well. Another one of our best sellers. Super, super beautiful. This month, Cyberfrog is coming out. Oh, give me Cyberfrog right now. Give me this comic book. I cannot wait until the end of this week. Can't wait. And also the Cyberfrog Salamandroid poster is available. It's gigantic. You can see it behind me. I mean, a lot of people are just like, hey, Ethan, what does the poster look like? Well, it's right there. That's it. That's the poster that you can order. Oh, by the way, did you see that 3-dimensional Cyberfrog right there? Isn't that beautiful? Rick Tier made that for me. It's a nice Cyberfrog sculpture. Looks good too. Proud of it. And then right underneath him is the model for Trebuchet Guevara. Trebuchet Guevara, which is a massive trebuchet that's going to be able to launch tons of SJWs into the air at once. That is the model. That's the working model for it. You guys think I'm not doing anything. I've got all kinds of stuff getting done here. Okay, all kinds of stuff.